I've been shooting all kinds of auto racing for 20 years. The Indy 500, stock cars, drag racing, they're all different yet very similar. Excitement, danger, hard work, winners and losers. Racing has many faces, many ingredients. These are some of the faces of racing.
I didn't finish the first race that I ran. It was in an old 34 Ford Jalopy, stock car, so to speak. It was in Gardena, California. The battery fell out of the car, and of course it wasn't secured in the car very good either.
The first time I actually raced anything in competition was on some motorcycles. I never ran anything in drag racing until 1961. I think that keyed me up to the point where I wanted to go back and do it the next week, and then we started learning.
Racing is indeed a crucible for ideas, where sport and engineering join hands in this process of proving that some ideas work and some do not. The important thing is that racing performs this testing function well, and does it with such drama that ideas thus develop quickly capture the minds of men.
I was 17 years old, going to high school and working for a cam grinder down in Jacksonville, Florida. Built some pretty good engines back then. Got a guy to drive for me. I bought an old race car body, and we went out to the local speedway, and I didn't like the way he was running the car, and I felt like I could do a better job. I got in the car, and this was in 1957, won the feature race with it. It was the first race for me.
I drove my first stock car race in Darlington. I was only 17 years old. In fact, I started my racing career right down Main Street in Darlington in a soapbox derby when I was 11 years old.
As you move up, somewhat become accomplished in your field. Say you finish third, fourth, second, lovely. But after you get your first win, there's no way you can accept second place and be happy with it if you've been winning. A.J. Foyt is a man that's been around a long, long time. He's been on top for a long, long time. He has to be one of the very greats. Parnelli Jones, just a real tiger at all times. He has to be reckoned with whenever he does race.
A.J. Foyt is truly one of the toughest race drivers I've ever driven against, along with Mario Andretti, who I think that he is really fantastically outstanding.
Fellows like Al Unser and Bobby Unser, just very, very strong and right there at all times, especially Al. He has really come into his own.
Parnelli, when he does finish, he usually sets all kinds of records and wins a race, charging all the way.
Well, a charger is a man that goes into a race to run as hard as he can from flag to flag. You have to, if you're going to win a race, there are too many fellows that are going to charge all day, and one of them's going to win.
Been in racing 19 years. Yeah, I've always been my own mechanic, but I've never had the type of factory help that it takes to get in the winning circuit. Because an independent just can't have a car that's competitive. Can't run with them. I outblast them a lot of time, but I can't run as fast as they can.
We're running at 200 mile an hour with equipment that was originally running 80 mile an hour. And the cars and everything have been built from zero, from nothing. And the engines were originally designed to put out 400 or 500 horsepower, and here we've got them putting out 1,500. And it comes down to whether or not enough research and development has been done, just how much faith you can put in the people you've got working for you.
But I can't wear earplugs or cotton because I have to hear the engine. Listening to that engine and knowing the sound of it is part of driving a race car for me. Gives me a little closer relationship with the engine and with the car.
I think a driver is like an artist, just takes a greater amount of finesse to drive an open wheel machine because the reaction of the car is so much quicker. Power to weight ratio, your directional stability, the cars are definitely not as forgiving.
But I just don't have the money to run the same type of engine the factory cars run. That's one of the reasons my car just won't run as fast. But I have to buy my own tires. At the small races, if you don't finish real high, you'll owe the tire man more money than you made in the race.
When you're there in a car at 200 miles an hour and you're alone, your life is hanging in your own hands. It just goes without words, the feeling.
When we come to the line, we have some bleach in which we put down and spin the tires in. This gets the tires warm and makes them sticky, and we go up and try to lay down a path. Try to get the car back into these tracks to get what we call glued up, to get no tire spin and to get the car launched.
Wood Brothers are the greatest pit crew, the greatest racing team in the world today, as far as I'm concerned. They can change tires, fuel a car, put oil in it, clean the windshield in about 20 seconds. I don't think anybody else can do it.
Mess up in the pits, you're in trouble. You can gain 10, 15 seconds on the racetrack, and if you lose 20 or 30 seconds in the pit, everything you've tried to gain is lost. Your whole crew is the one that makes or breaks you.
Once again, as they come off this fourth turn, the slower track.
To go by. That was the quickest pit stop of the day. Going to the south straightaway.
Pearson on the inside, brings the forward, Torino down the inside group.
The first two leaders are all set. They're still in competition.
comes around. Here they are to complete lap.
The checkered flag.
As far as I'm concerned, second or third or anything other than first is losing. The name of this game is winning, and that's what I want to do.
When you win it, the pressure's gone, and then you go about everything else in a lot more relaxed manner. I can say I've enjoyed racing after this doggone race more than I ever have in my life.
Putting together a good combination with the crew and the car, driving the race and winning is what I really like about auto racing.
Drag racing, but it's something that a person likes to do. You got to get paid for doing something. I guess it's as good as anything.
And I think that when you're winning, it takes a lot of pressure off of you. The mechanics, they're 50% of the reason for being successful, because if you don't have the car and the equipment, then there's just no way you're going to win.
Okay, girls, look at me, girls. Give me a beat.
I love racing. People here now are just understanding what we're doing and what racing is all about.
And I'm just really trying to make a go out of it now. I want to give my boys a chance before they get too old. So that's one reason I'm still in racing.
It blew the water hose slip off of it.
Right there.
I could just wrap it up in just my life. Every race is a new challenge for you, and that's what really keeps you going. I think it's a great thing in life for any man that can enjoy his job. You just have to have the tools to work with, and you have to know how to use them.